LCX will 20x in 2023. Yes guys, in this video we will be giving you a live reaction to an interview with the CEO of LCX, Monty Metzger, and the founder of Quant, Gilbert Verdian. Now both of them actually go in depth in the future of both LCX and Quant, the plans for the future and where it will be heading. You do not want to miss it. But before we actually go any further, if you're new to the Crypto Maxi channel, subscribe and hit the bell so you do not miss any of your future content. And also remember that nothing is ever financial advice. Please remember that everything is for entertainment purposes and it's also my personal opinion. So please do your own research before making any sort of investment, especially in the crypto market, especially in these current market conditions. But with that being said, the price of LCX is actually pretty healthy, 13 cents at the moment, 7% increase in the last 24 hours. And before we get into the actual reaction, let me explain to you on how I think it can 20x this year, right? With that being said, at the moment we are in an accumulation phase really for a lot of these altcoins like LCX and Quant. And with such a low market cap of $97 million, a lot of the individuals that have entered for, let's say, a short-term gain, which was in the recent pump, of course, so around the start of this year, a lot of these people have already started to exit, right? Once we see that level, which I think we've already seen, I cannot see LCX going below 6, 7 or 8 cents. Anything lower than that, I just think is unrealistic, right? With that being said, the accumulation phase itself, as the word starts getting out, which it is, there's going to be some serious money poured into LCX in the course of the year, and that itself should push the price of LCX up. And the fact it's below $1 billion market cap really does, in my opinion, reinstate this fact. It does feel like even if it doesn't 20x, a 10x should be really a realistic target for LCX by 2024. But with that being said, let me know your thoughts on my take here. Can LCX 10 or even 20x in the year of 2023 in the comment section down below. Again, that is just my take. I think it definitely has the potential to do so with the current market cap, right? A $2 billion or $1 billion market cap, even if it is in 2023 or 24, is extremely realistic for something like LCX, which has publicly, released the fact that they are going to be working with the World Economic Forum, right? With that being said though, let's actually get into this interview and not waste any more of your time.
Names and the products, maybe you can classify this a little bit deeper and say, there's the Overledger Network Enterprise and then Overledger Community Network. So what are both things and how are they separated or are they interconnected in a way?
So, by the way, just to explain what they're talking about here, they're actually talking about Quant's technology, of course. Of course, the Quant Overledger has got like different parts to it, and that's basically what he's trying to explain.
Yeah, and similarly to Overledger Community, you have the same option. You host the Overledger Community gateways. They are, they are interconnected in the way that you need to access nodes or resources or instances within the Overledger Network Enterprise or Overledger Network Community. They will have access to each other and process the transactions. So for that use case, if a particular client is running Overledger Network Gateway, that they're on the Overledger Network and they need to process transactions that's within the Overledger community, there is that bridge and they are interconnected. The gateways are exactly the same. You can be an enterprise hosting a gateway, you can be a community user or a developer and be a gateway operator at the same time. So it's basically our way of having different service agreements and SLAs to enterprise customers, because for them to buy software and use software, that they have strict procurement requirements. So we're supporting that and complying to that. And then we're also opening up the ecosystem to gateways from community and from developers to run and have access to that network as well.
Okay, and then the last element out of the product overview is Seek, the search and analysis tool. What's that about? What is Seek?
I actually did not hear about this, so it'll be interesting to hear more about it, but yeah.
Seek was a product that we've built. It's based on our technology, and it's a way to have, if an enterprise or a government or a client wants to be able to have a blockchain explorer across all the different blockchains, Seek is a way to do it. So
now that is insane. I did not hear about Seek before. To be dead honest, as much as I've looked into Quant, I've never heard about. And this is what I mean, boys. From these videos, you get so much value. You get to learn a lot of things that you might not be aware of. I'm pretty sure some of you guys weren't aware of it as well. But you know, Seek is actually a I can't even speak. A blockchain explorer for all the blockchains, right? Basically for the Quant overledger to an extent. So it's a blockchain explorer, so a bit like SolScan for Solana, BSC scan for the Binance Smart Chain, ETH scan for the Ethereum blockchain. You know, there's a lot, all of the blockchains in one, having a one block explorer. That is pretty cool.
It's kind of like a Google search that's specific for enterprise use cases. There's customers that are using it for, you know, transactions and checking things within different blockchains. And the beauty of it is, if you have an internal blockchain that you're running transactions and you want to see stuff happening internally, you want to see stuff happening on Ethereum and Bitcoin and XRP, you know, XRP Ledger, you can use Seek as the single tool to access all the different blockchains for, you know, performance, you know, integrity, to check transactions have been confirmed, finality, all those sorts of use cases.
Okay. And now, like with the use cases coming, you also did a big announcement recently about the Overledger 2.0 full release. Can you summarize what had been released now?
Yeah, that was a very big update into the product. We've been working on that for quite a while. So what we've done is we've moved a lot of the core functionality, you know, from the SDK and the front end into the API. And what that means is it's a lot easier for any developer or enterprise or whoever's using Overledger to call the API and say, can you do this? And the API handles the rest. So there's a lot of API endpoints, and that's all published in terms of the new functionality. Before, you had to kind of code it a bit more, so there was a bit more effort. So we've removed that friction. The other bit is we've standardized. So as I said, you know, using the API, if you want to talk to blockchain 1, 2, and 3, and 4, you use the same language for all the blockchains. You don't have to worry about specific, you know, RPC calls, some node information, all those complex things that all the underlying blockchains have. You just call the Overledger API, say, tell me about blockchain 1, write to blockchain 2, subscribe to a service on blockchain 3, and you do that through a common ISO type of language that we've standardized. And the final thing is we've re-engineered a whole bunch of microservices and architecture in the back end to make it even more scalable, especially with the cloud deployments that we're doing. So Overledger can be multi-cloud, you know, high availability, you know, resilience that enterprise need, especially when you're...
There's so much value being provided, you know, from different, you know, that's the thing. I'm learning so much from these interviews. I just feel like making more of these videos, but you know, there's a lot to actually take in there. So there's a lot of technology that goes, it's not just the Quant Overledger. They work on the Quant Overledger 2.0. Well, they're also working on the actual blockchain explorer. Well, from the sounds of it, it's already out, which is pretty cool. But yeah,
the stuff that we're doing around national infrastructure, you really need that resilience built in from an availability perspective. So we've done a whole bunch of stuff in the back about auto scaling horizontally, vertically. It's kind of invisible to customers, but they need this sort of technology to be, you know, compliant to.
And now when we look at kind of the key question of the...
But yeah, guys, that brings us to the end of this reaction video. Now remember, if you do not want to miss any future updates for when it comes to these videos where we go through interviews regarding Quant, LCX, and other cryptocurrencies, you know what to do, guys. Subscribe and hit the bell. And also, if you're enjoying these Crypto Maxi videos, guys, leave a like down below. It does go a long way. And with that being said, thanks so much for the recent support. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.